My name's Chris Dangerfield, welcome back to my channel, and this is part 6 of Club 16 to 24. So I had to go back to Dartford. I wasn't thinking about getting a job and looking after myself. I thought, no, I'd been going back there, back to stay at my mother's every summer, you know, half term and that, and it just seemed the natural thing to do to move back to my mum's. And while I was there, I signed on and all that, and soon I thought I might as well get housing benefit, and I moved into a little bedsit round the corner. Still seeing my girlfriend, then speed comes in. I've been doing a bit here and there at Dartington, but there's a lot of it about in Dartford. Everyone was doing it, it seemed. Well, everyone I talked to, because I was doing it, and they were the circles I was in. So my girlfriend would come over on a Friday. After about an hour of her being there, we'd do the speed. That would be us out of our nuts till Sunday lunchtime. At which case she'd sort of shake herself off and go home back to her mother's. And it was very sexy. It was very, I mean, if anyone's had sex on speed, wow, when you're still that age and it works, these were crazy weekends, man. We were just, you know, again, we'd go down into Dartford. I was selling speed, I was selling ash, you know, I was a petty drug dealer with an emphasis on petty. But to be sitting there in the pub with queues of people coming along and everyone talking to you, and I was thinking, oh yeah, oh yeah. I thought I was Al Pacino, I'll tell you. You know, big bundles, not a lot of money, but like £300-400 just sitting on my arse for an hour while everyone comes to get their speed and a lump of ash. And me and my missus, and oh God, and that, it was just, you know, we were enjoying it. It was, you know, it didn't feel dark. It felt exciting and it felt naughty, and it was like we were doing our own thing, and we were, you know, it was regular. And I wasn't really, well, no, I wasn't. I mean, I was having the odd little bit of sex on the side, but to be honest with you, I was so fucking knackered all week that, you know, I was happy to just see her at the weekend and have like a 24-hour chemical sex marathon. And you know, I had a mate in Dartford whose father died and left him a load of money, so he done what I done when my father died, and I'd just go round his house every night during the week, and we'd just get smashed on hash and eat pizzas and play old, you know, really old video games. And you know, he bought a video camera, and then we bought our first hydroponics setup. You know, and in those days, you know, it wasn't like now where you can just buy a tent and switch it on at the wall and have 5 kilos of skunk. But we were growing skunk, and we made a video of it. It's on the internet. Oh my gosh. I'll dig it out and I'll put a link in the description of this video. You can see me and my mate, and believe me, we weren't the best growers. We didn't get a great harvest out of it, but you know, it was only cost us a few £100 to set up, and in those days you'd end up with a few males in there. You'd have to cut them out. We didn't know what we were doing. You wait till you see the video, you'll see what kind of a mess we're in. Oh, that's weird that I've just realised you can watch a bit of that. Oh my gosh. And we're having a real laugh, and you know, she's in it. You'll see her in it. She's, I think she's, you know, disguised, because we had this idea that we'd disguised ourselves, but deliberately jokey disguises. The idea originally was that if the police found the tapes, we wouldn't get arrested, but I think we were so stoned, the disguises were so poor that we just tried to make them as poor as possible. In one of them, a mate just wraps his hand in silver foil. That's his disguise. And of course I'm thinking, well, you know, this is all very well when your bed sitting, your speed habit and your petty drug dealing, but this can't go on for much longer. What am I going to do? It would be nice to go back to college. It would be nice to not work. And I applied for a course at Leeds University, and in cultural studies. Now, this is the original social justice course. I assure you, it was inspired by I think the Birmingham Centre for Cultural Studies or something, the BCCC. And you know, this is the early days of social justice. Seriously, that's what I studied. That's how I can turn out the Frankfurt School stories. That's how I can tell you about the things I know about. This is where my I mean, I got into Marxism at Dartington, but I really got into Marxism, you know, and communism at Leeds. And so I applied for this course, and I found out very shortly, you know, I think I applied in January, and in March they said, yes, we'd love you to start the master's degree. And I can remember in the interview for that, they said, why do you want to come to this course? And I said to them, I'm sick of sitting in pubs in Dartford talking to people about Baudrillard who would rather be somewhere else. And they cracked up. Yeah. So as soon as I got that letter saying we'd love you to come in September, I knew that I had 6 months, March, April, May, June, July, yeah, of just partying, because my future was sorted. I had, you know, a year doing a master's degree, and if I could blag that and I'd managed to get my illustration course and my foundation and my first degree, there was no reason why I wouldn't be able to blag a master's degree. I'd then be going out into the world of work with 2 degrees, one of them being a master's degree. Surely I was going to be able to blag something. Surely. And so I just thought, sweet, I've got nothing to worry about. I'll just carry on smoking ash with my mate, growing weed with him, eating pizzas, having mad, speedy sex with the girlfriend at the weekend, and life was actually rather good, you know. I thought after Dartington it was all going to go down. I had a few run-ins with the police. I remember I got arrested once into the supermarket. I was with him. We're growing skunk in his attic loft. And the pair of us are in the supermarket, smashed out of our heads. And the police just come up to me and go, come with me. And he's like, my mate just turns around and walks away. I'm like, oh, nice one. I don't know what. I'm thinking, well, they haven't arrested him. They see me with him. So it can't be the skunk. I'm thinking, I've got about an ounce of speed at me now, so this could be awkward. But why, it didn't make sense. They handcuffed me. Handcuffed me. And they walked me out of the supermarket, put me in a car, took me down the station. They went, okay, so... we know what you've been doing. And I was like, okay. And I'm thinking, well, it could be one of many things. Well, certainly a few things. And they went, you and your girlfriend walking around the supermarket. Your girlfriend asks someone where the peas are. And while they're showing your girlfriend, you're dipping their purse. Really? And I was thinking, have I been doing that? Maybe I haven't been having sex all weekend. Maybe I've been using peas as a decoy while I steal purses. I was like, no, this ain't it at all. Turns out one of the people that it happened to was one of my best mates from Dartford's mother. And she told him, it ain't Chris Dangerfield. It wasn't him. And I know his girlfriend, it wasn't them. So they searched my house, so they thought they were going to find some purses or whatever. I'll tell you what they found. A cupboard full of porn, PVC underwear, chains, some stilettos. But like I say, there was an ounce of speed in the fireplace, the old, what used to be a proper fire, now just a display one. An ounce of speed, loads of little plastic bags. They must have seen it. They probably looked at it and went, oh, we don't want the paperwork for some fucking speed. It's a funny one, speed, isn't it? Because it's so cheap. You know, this stuff is made in bathtubs, isn't it? And like when they bust someone for cocaine, it'll always be money, or heroin. It's always money. Oh, they found £4 million worth of heroin. When it's speed, it's always weight, because it's so cheap. No one wants to say, police busted a house and found 70 quid's worth of speed. Which is what, I don't know, a couple of ounces. So yeah, they probably went, oh no, fuck it. So that was a touch. And all good. So I've said to my girlfriend, look, I'm going to Leeds for a year. It's all right. You can come visit me. It's all good. She's in the final year of her... No, she's left her degree. She got a job as an illustrator. Fucking hell. Wow. And I was proud of her. But I was kind of off in my own world, really. I'd gone to Leeds. And I get to Leeds, and very soon, it's lonely. It's dark. It's grimy. It's grotty. You know, I'm going out on my own at the weekend and doing speed. And I'm just at home, and I'm just looking at porn and wanking myself silly. That's what my novel's about, the one I talked about. Just on my own, in a tiny little room. And then I met this girl. She was a dancer, and she seemed amazing. And I really got on with her, and she was interested in all the theory that I was interested in. She would argue with me. She was really crazy clever. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, clever, crazy, yeah. But I only saw clever. And I remember I rung up my girlfriend and I'm crying my eyes out. I thought, I'm just going to be honest. And I said, I've fallen in love with this girl. And I'd already been mentioning her to her. And she went, I knew you were going to say that. And we had one of those things, just those conversations where you're just crying, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on. My head was frazzled, you know, years of acid and drinking and speed and daily consumption of hash. And I didn't know what to fucking do. I thought I was doing the right thing, and I thought about it for a couple of days, and I've rung her back, of course, because now I've told her I've fallen in love with someone. So she's like, oh, if that's what you want. And I'm, you know, unconsciously, I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean if that's what I want? What do you mean? What you don't care? What, you don't want me? So now, again, I've finished with her. She's rejected me, I think. So I ring her up the next night. I go, nah, it's all right. It turns out she's just a friend. I just confuse friendship with a girl as love. You know, it's nothing. And then a week later, I move out of that house. I changed my phone number because I've got a mobile. No one had mobiles in those days except for stockbrokers and drug dealers, and I certainly wasn't a stockbroker. So I changed my phone number, moved out of that house, and didn't tell her where I'd gone or anything. And everyone I knew, when I spoke to them back in Dartford, or the people who still lived in that other house, they go, she's been trying to get hold of you. She's just desperate to talk to you. And I just cut horror off completely, not knowing how to deal with it. Just 8 years we were together. No, 7 or 8. My first love. Been through so much. She'd forgiven me for so much. Totally loved me, without doubt. Unconditional love she gave me. And I just fucked her off. Like an arsehole. I stalked her for years. I'll get to that in the next bit.